welcome to Geeks Are Sexy. I am so glad to be back after a long break. I'm your host, Michelle Roxy Davis. Thank you so much for watching us live in Las Vegas on WCOBM.TV. So, on this episode of Geeks Are Sexy, we're going to talk about finding your edge. And I have yoga instructor Kristen here from True Fusion. And we're going to talk about why you should challenge yourself, pushing yourself to the edge, and why True Fusion is going to be your best friend. So, Kristen, let's talk about how you found yoga. Because True Fusion is more than just yoga. It's kettlebells, it's boot camp, it's kickboxing, it's
bar,
Pilates, it's
yeah.
I mean, it's everything, but all encompassed to one. I want to know, how did you find yoga, you know, like the tranquility of True Fusion?
So I found yoga in college, just through a course for credit, and it became my love. And you know, years later, that started the spark, the dream of becoming an instructor.
You're like, yeah, this course looks interesting. I'm going to try this just because it seems like easy credits.
Yeah, Destiny made me take that class.
I love that.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Definitely.
So when you were in that class, you were kind of like, I love this. This is something I need. And then after class, you were like, what else is out there?
Yeah, I used to have just constant stress and lower back pain, and really wasn't that active. I was field hockey. I grew up in Virginia, field hockey and soccer in high school, but hadn't found my thing. And when I found yoga, I was like, oh, this is it. You know, like, I find one of those things in life. Yeah.
That's so cool. So from there, how did you find True Fusion?
So I found True Fusion. I had been a member before I moved away. So I actually just moved back from Hawaii. I had a kind of a crazy 2016 and moved back from Hawaii and immediately joined True Fusion and started working there, and took the Pilates training about a week later because I just wanted to jump right in. So
that's so cool. Now, I love True Fusion just because of the energy. You bring your friends, everyone collaborates, how chill the environment is, and the fact you can go shopping and you can eat really good food there at the same time. That kind of blends in really well. And tell me about the Pilates training, because I've always been interested about the trainings that they have there and all of the instructors that come from True Fusion.
The Pilates training was really amazing. We were talking about Liz Steers earlier. She was one of my teacher trainers, as well as Martin. And they were amazing. I mean, I had a yoga background, so that helped me a little bit, but Pilates is all slow and controlled. And
everyone thinks Pilates is kind of like yoga. Tell them what the difference is. Very,
very different. Even though you could say you might be in a similar position, just the activation and what you're focusing on, breath. I always tell people True Fusion had its way with me, because now I love fitness. I was a yogi before, but True Fusion, it'll make you break out of your fitness shell. You'll try things that you didn't before. Exactly. I found my edge with True Fusion.
I love that. So when you became an instructor, how did it change your life? I mean, beforehand, you were going to a class, you were watching an instructor, you were a part of the class, but now you are leading the class. You are the leader. So how did that change your mentality, your confidence?
You realize just what energy you need to have to guide a room. And you think back to the lessons that you took that were grounding or satisfying or just the best ones, and you hope to call in that energy and just be that for other people, because really, you teach, that's what you're doing. You're teaching for other people. You're not teaching for yourself. So just finding that connection and being able to call upon that energy and get grounded for them. You know, you're doing it for your students. So.
Did you have students come up to you and thank you? Or what were some of the things that you would hear from your students?
Yeah, that was, one student who actually just graduated from the True Fusion yoga training. It was a really great moment, because I actually taught a Pilates class to her, and I had done a studio announcement about how we were doing a yoga training, and she comes up and tells me how she loved my class and loved my playlist, and then she went through the yoga training.
That's so cool.
I talked her through it,
You
so
changed
it was really
her life.
Great.
How does that feel to kind of not only mold people while they're moving through your class, but then you can actually transition them and develop them into something that their lifestyle is more fundamental and makes sense?
I think that's the beauty of just fitness and yoga, and the whole idea behind True Fusion of just challenging yourself, you know, finding your edge. Like maybe if you did this, you can do something else, and just finding that internal fire, your internal confidence.
I love that internal fire. So tell me, what has training been like? Now we'll first talk about this. When you went through your Pilates training, how much did it cost? I know, the money thing.
I know. I think $695. They did a pop-up
That's not
training, so
bad.
I was really lucky because they had only announced it for about a week and a half. So I was in a pop-up Pilates training.
So how long was that?
It was a 2-day intensive, but then after that we worked for about 3 months with mentors, and they have a whole online education program that you're paired with, and you have practice classes. So even for those first few months, you know, I was teacher trainee classes. So
and all the people that you met, all the relationships
so
that you built.
That's why, I mean, it helped bring me to this role of now, you know, when I teach, I tell them, oh, I'll probably check you into class soon, or vice versa. When I check them into class, like, catch me teaching you soon, you know?
That's so cool. And when you were going through training, what were some of the changes that you needed to make in your life?
Ooh,
Maybe
Pilates,
it was sleep, diet, people you were hanging out with,
sleep
in general.
and just focusing. I mean, I had a lot more yoga background, so I very much challenged myself when I did the Pilates training. I really didn't have that much background in it, and I just...
You're like, I'm going to go for this.
Very much like that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be a Pilates teacher, and there I did it.
The rest
and
was history.
At the beginning, I remember Martin saying, he was looking at my bridge. I was doing yoga bridges instead of Pilates bridges. So really, for me, just not necessarily taking my yoga out, but yes, taking my yoga out of my Pilates and finding those, oh, okay, this is where I should be activating versus in yoga, I'll do it this way, you know.
So funny. And so now you're the assistant studio manager over at the Henderson location, which I absolutely love. I'm there routinely. And you want to give any shout outs to any of the teachers or your partners or people that are at the places?
Man, I love Costin. Thanks, Vanessa, for being the manager. Ethan, he's amazing. I think I could go on.
I know,
a lot of them. That's really hard.
You're like, you put me on the spot.
I'm friends with so many of them.
But shout out to Liz and Jake,
of course, Liz and Martin,
Steve, all the people that I correspond with to bring me Kristen. That's awesome. Shout out to Desiree, who's traveling now.
Exactly, I miss Desiree, but she's having fun representing True Fusion.
Yeah, she's in the traveling crew. She's going abroad, which is cool.
Yeah.
So what classes, what times? Tell us about when you're teaching at True Fusion. People will be a fan.
Yeah, with yoga, I'm still, because I'm the assistant manager, I'm less permanent classes, but you'll see me subbing a lot. But we are at M Pool every Sunday. And June 18th is my Sunday, 10 a.m. I'll be teaching yoga by the pool. So I'm really excited for that. And
give out your social medias.
Yeah, Kristen is Livin'. And long last name, but Kristen Strzensky. But you'll be able to find my Facebook through my long and Polish.
I tried to find you on Facebook. I couldn't find it. I was like, where is she?
Kristen is Livin'. You'll find me that way.
Okay, there it is. What's your IG? Twitter?
Yeah, Kristen is Livin'. Yeah, no Twitter for me. I try to keep it small. Just a couple networks for me.
Simple, yeah. But truefusion.com. Check them out. Get a membership. Find your edge. And that's at truefusion.com. Thank you so much for being a guest, Kristen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're watching Geeks Are Sexy. We'll be right back.